Well, thanks for staying with us. You're watching The World is One News. My name is Mohammed Saleh, and let's start with some breaking inputs which have just come in, where India has released the draft of a new defense production policy that aims to create 2 to 3 million jobs by the year 2025. Now, the goal is to make India a top defense manufacturer and also have a leadership role in cyberspace and artificial intelligence. All right, now for more on this, we are joined in by our senior editor, Surya Gangadharan, who joins us from the newsroom. Well, Surya, this is a policy that's just been announced. What more information that we have on this?
Well, actually, it was announced over the weekend, and basically, it's actually nothing very new. It came out in 2011, okay. But clearly, the current government finds a need to push it forward and give it new momentum, which is why some of the ideas being raised include allowing foreign entities to invest as much as 74% in Make in India venture. And no questions asked. So this could be a game changer in terms of bringing foreign investment into the defense sector in India. But we really have to wait and see, because right now this is actually a draft policy. It's being put out to industry and to the public and to think tanks for responses, for ideas and feedback. And based on that, they'll try and take it forward.
Right, like you mentioned, this was originally planned in 2011. Why is it taking so long? What are the hurdles that India has to overcome before something like this is actually taken to its logical conclusion?
Well, frankly, there is no... the defense sector in India is controlled by government entities, PSUs and ordnance factory boards that weigh heavily with the largely bureaucracy-driven defense ministry. In the sense that they get leeway when it comes to giving them new orders. Unfortunately, there's not much R&D which goes on in these entities.
Right.
And the private sector has virtually no defense expertise of any kind. So you have a situation where the government wants to reach out to private industry and get them to start manufacturing and bring scale and economy into production. But when they have no expertise, how do you do it? And where do you start? And how do you start? So lots of issues in between. And hopefully these will be ironed out over the course of the next few months.
Right. And also, Surya, you mentioned that much of defense production is at this point of time in India centered around government-run PSUs. Now, with this policy being brought in, could we see that the government PSUs, their role in manufacturing defense equipment will become less? And can we see more of private players who will actually move into this sector?
Well, that is the aim. The private sector has been saying that there should be a level playing field between the public sector entities and private sector. And there should be no discrimination when it comes to giving them orders. So that's something which is yet to be worked through, given the fact that it's a highly bureaucratized environment the Defense Ministry operates in. And since the armed forces are kept outside the Defense Ministry, they have no role in terms of telling the MOD bureaucrats where to apportion orders, how to go about it. Also the fact that even within the armed forces, expertise in that regard is limited. So a lot of these gaps and deficiencies have to be worked out before anything actually happens.
Right. Now, India, Surya, is the biggest importer of arms. Now, with this policy coming into picture, can we see the scenario change? Can India turn things around? You know, realistically, they're saying the year 2025 is when they would like to actually have this policy out in place. So can India now become a manufacturer of arms which we can then export rather than being the biggest importer of arms into India?
Well, that is a hope. And in fact, some of the opinion in the public domain is that the deadline of 2025 is far too ambitious.
Right.
And we should be far more realistic in setting our goals. So anyway, first of all, the draft has to be worked out. And based on that, hopefully there'll be more realistic adherence to guidelines and timelines.
Absolutely. We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Surya Gangadharan, for joining us and getting us those updates there.